Hey y'all, it's Shelly. I have a project to share with you. If you could see around me right now, you would be laughing because I'm in the basement. I wanted to make a video of this before it got dark. Well, my mom had other plans to go to the grocery store today, so I did not get done before it got dark. Um, so I went ahead and decided to go ahead and try to do this video. This is an altered letter that I did for my friend Dawn, and Dawn loves steampunk style. So I went with the paper that matched the friendship page that I made for her, and I used the Graphic 45 steampunk paper. And I did take some pictures of this before I started, and I kind of took some process photos, but I don't know how to edit my video and add those at the end or anything like that. So if you have any questions that I don't answer, feel free to ask. But basically what I did first was I painted this metallic teal, whatever color you want to call it. I painted the entire letter with that. I should have thought first and covered it with gesso. It would have taken the paint a whole lot easier. And actually, when I got it painted, I decided that I wanted to do some cutouts. And this piece here is cut out where the lady is coming out of the letter is cut out, and then there's a small piece up here that's cut out. And what I actually did was I added some lights inside of the letter, and I just cut a hole on the back side right here, and added the lights in there. And I'm gonna cover this up before I send it to her, but this is the back side to where the lady is coming out, and then I just did the mesh here on the back, and whoop, right there too, up on the top. I cut the holes the same size on the front and the back. And then the back is just plain, except you can see the holes. I did secure the mesh in with some eyelets. And the lights, you can see right there, I wrapped this tool around the lights and secured them in several places. I did use some hot glue on some of the lights. I tried to stay away from the bulb portion so that maybe it wouldn't get too hot and melt them, or melt where they were glued inside. I'm not really sure how it's gonna work because this is the first time that I've tried this, but I really wanted to try something new. And I'm going to turn out some of these lights and see if you can see the lights shining. I don't know how it's going to look, so wait till I get back to the camera. I really don't think you can see it that well. Maybe if I turn the overhead light. Okay, yeah, there you can see. The pieces that are lit up, it's just where the lights are, and they shine through really well. It looks really cool here in my basement, but I know it looks crappy on this camera. So let me turn my lights back on so you can see this. Okay, that's like 4 lights. How horrible is that? So first, I was telling you I painted and then I cut the pieces out. I really wanted to use my brick mask, and I have the brick mask by Crafters Workshop. I don't have the Prima one. So before I started doing any decorating and even putting the bricks down, I just kind of spotted everywhere with some black soot distress ink, and you can really see it here on the edge better. I just did it in spots because I knew I was gonna be covering a lot of it up. And then after I was done with that, I went ahead and did my bricks, and I did those with modeling paste. And once they dried, I tapped over them lightly with I believe it was Vintage Photo, Tea-Dye, and Fired Brick. I wanted to tie in some reddish tones for the flowers in her hat and on her dress. And so I went with those colors. And then after those dried, I saw that they were going to kind of rub off a little bit. And they were completely dry. So I just took some Crackle Rock Candy Distressed Crackle and went over the top with them. Went over the top of them. And after that dried, I went over the top of the Crackle with some Picket Fence Distress Distress Stain. And that was my first time using that. Someone had sent me that in a swap. Someone had sent me that Distress Stain. And I have to tell you, after I used it that one time, I wanted to use it more and more. So I did order some additional colors because that was the only one I had. I'm not sure if you can tell or not. You can probably see the reflection, but you probably can't see the Crackle because this camera is nutso crazy, no count. And so after that was done, I pretty much just had to start embellishing the letter. And let me see if I can move the camera instead of the, or let me try to zoom in. This corner, I did I used some Scrabble tiles and I added the rest of her name, which is AWN. I'm not sure if this was supposed to be a W or an M, but they didn't have anything that looked different in the package that I bought, so I went with it, turned it upside down. I added all kinds of little sprockets and gears because she loves steampunk. And this is, I believe it is a Wild Orchid Craft or it's an I Am Roses flower, one of the two. It was a brown color already, but I really didn't like the shade of brown that it was. It kind of was too peachy for me. So I went over the entire flower with some Tattered Angels. And right now I couldn't tell you the color. I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at this if I don't write it down as I'm going through the process. And then the tool here, I took my heat gun, and I kind of like crinkled it up and made it look like it was like almost kind of like ripped stockings, like ripped fishnets. And I really liked that look with steampunk. And I added that. And I just poked that in on several sides, so it's just poking out. And then down the side of the letter, I did 3 little butterflies I fussy cut out of the paper. And I did not think before I adhered these to edge them with anything, so they have these awful white edges. I may try to go back and see if I can do anything to them. And then I just took a piece of cardboard and I laid it down, and then I added, this is a flashing of some sort from the hardware store. This is a Tim Holtz ticket. This is a little My Road teeny tiny bottle cap, and I filled it up with glossy accents, and then I added some alcohol ink to it to give it some color. You can kind of see the color there. I had some watch parts, so I added some of those watch parts around, added some more of that mesh back here. This is a bottle cap, and the bottle cap is, the pattern on the bottle cap is like frayed burlap is kind of what it looks like, or burlap. And I added a gear. And this thing right here, I don't know if you can make it out. Let's see. it's like one of those little black prongy things that comes out of electronics. I know that is so the technical term, right? But I had an iPhone, and any of you that are close enough to me that we would talk about our phones and stuff, you know how much I hated my iPhone. I know, gosh, like I'm cursing because everybody loves their iPhones, but I really think I had a lemon, and um, I took that, I like smashed that thing to pieces. I got so mad at it, and I took it all out on the phone. So this is actually a piece from inside the charger, and then there's just a little coil there, a spring, and a 10 volts light bulb. And all I did was I added some glossy accents inside the bottle cap, and then I just put them in there and made sure they were down in the glossy accents, and then let it dry overnight. So then on this side, more bricks, and the lady, I fussy cut her out. I added red stickles to her flower on her dress and on her hat. Then I added, I know you can't see it, but I added some stickles on all the parts on her wings that were not black. Then she had a little watch on her arm, but I added a little teeny tiny metal piece to it because it looked almost exactly like that. And then this flower, ooh, I don't know, another Wild Orchid Craft or I'm Roses, I don't know which it was. And then if you see, let me see if I can get you a good shot of this one. That's really hard to see, I'm sure. Does that help at all? No, not really. Well, this flower right here, I know you can't see it very well, but what I did was I really wanted a different look to that flower. It was a Prima flower from like a CHA release during the summer. And I colored, it was white. I colored it with the same brown that I did on the other, the flower at the top, and then this one right here. And I still didn't like it. So I went around the edges with some red, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm liking it a little bit more. Still didn't like it really a whole lot, though. Well, then I was drying it with my heat tool, and I burned the edge. So I really liked that look. And I singed it all around the edges of the flower, and I really like how that turned out. I wish you could see it better. I really need a better camera, I know. And then going on up the letter, really it's just more bricks and the two cutout pieces, and then you know this is the second cutout, and then the first one is where the lady's coming out. But then right up here I added just some chain going with a swivel clasp going from the mesh to the corner of this word stick. I don't know if it's a word stick or what it's called. I'm sorry. I don't know the technical name. And then I attached a little key, if I could get in frame. And then the word stick, I'm going to have to move it to me so I can read it. It says, "The journey awakens the soul." And what I did with the word stick, if you can, let me see if I can turn it sideways so you can see it. I colored it with the same color that I did with the letter in. Then I scrubbed it off, and then I put like a tan color over it, and then I scrubbed it off. So just to like kind of grunge it up a little bit. But that is the letter. I think I'm approaching 15 minutes, and I hope this video will upload. Now we have the camera all wonky. But thank you for watching. Any comments, any suggestions, anything you have, I appreciate it. I appreciate comments, and I appreciate everybody watching. And thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night, whatever it might be. Thanks.